to the Joy to the World podcast. Each day during December, we will explore together passages from the Bible that teach us about God's joy in this world, His Son, Jesus Christ. Make sure you subscribe to whichever platform you get your podcasts from, or listen on our YouTube channel by searching for Anna Long Presbyterian Church.
Day 5, Leviticus chapter 16, read from the English Standard Version. The Lord spoke to Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron, when they drew near before the Lord and died. And the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron your brother not to come at any time into the holy place inside the veil, before the mercy seat that is on the ark, so that he may not die. For I will appear in the cloud over the mercy seat. But in this way Aaron shall come into the holy place, with a bull from the herd for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and shall have the linen undergarment on his body, and he shall tie the linen sash around his waist, and wear the linen turban. These are the holy garments. He shall bathe his body in water, and then put them on. And he shall take from the congregation of the people of Israel 2 male goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering for himself, and shall make atonement for himself and his house. Then he shall take the 2 goats and set them before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And Aaron shall cast lots over the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for Azazel. And Aaron shall present the goat on which the lot fell for the Lord, and use it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell for Azazel shall be presented alive before the Lord to make atonement over it, that it may be sent away into the wilderness to Azazel. Aaron shall present the bull as a sin offering for himself, and shall make atonement for himself and his house. He shall kill the bull as a sin offering for himself. And he shall take a censer full of coals of fire from the altar before the Lord, and 2 handfuls of sweet incense beaten small. And he shall bring it inside the veil, and put the incense on the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is over the testimony, so that he does not die. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it with his finger on the front of the mercy seat on the east side, and in front of the mercy seat he shall sprinkle some of the blood with his finger 7 times. Then he shall kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring its blood inside the veil, and do with its blood as he did with the blood of the bull, sprinkling it over the mercy seat and in front of the mercy seat. Thus he shall make atonement for the holy place because of the uncleannesses of the people of Israel, and because of their transgressions, all their sins. And so he shall do for the tent of meeting, which dwells with them in the midst of their uncleannesses. No one may be in the tent of meeting from the time he enters to make atonement in the holy place until he comes out, and has made atonement for himself and for his house and for all the assembly of Israel. Then he shall go out to the altar that is before the Lord and make atonement for it, and shall take some of the blood of the bull and some of the blood of the goat, and put it on the horns of the altar all around. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and consecrate it from the uncleannesses of the people of Israel. And when he has made an end of atoning for the holy place, and the tent of meeting, and the altar, he shall present the live goat. And Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and confess over it all the iniquities of the people of Israel, and all their transgressions, all their sins. And he shall put them on the head of the goat, and send it into the wilderness by the hand of the man who is in readiness. The goat shall bear all their iniquities on itself to a remote place, and he shall let the goat go free in the wilderness. Then Aaron shall come into the tent of meeting, and shall take off the linen garments that he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall bathe his body in water in a holy place, and put on his garments, and come out, and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people. And the fat of the sin offering he shall burn on the altar. And he who lets the goat go to Azazel shall wash his clothes, and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp. And the bull for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be carried outside the camp. Their skin and their flesh and their dung shall be burned up with fire. And he who burns them shall wash his clothes, and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp. And it shall be a statute to you forever, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict yourselves, and shall do no work, either the native or the stranger who sojourns among you. For on this day shall atonement be made for you to cleanse you. You shall be clean before the Lord from all your sins. It is a Sabbath of solemn rest for you, and you shall afflict yourselves. It is a statute forever. And the priest who is anointed and consecrated as priest in his father's place shall make atonement, wearing the holy linen garments. He shall make atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make atonement for the tent of meeting and for the altar, and he shall make atonement for the priests and for all the people of the assembly. And this shall be a statute forever for you, that atonement may be made for the people in Israel once in the year, because of all their sins. And Aaron did as the Lord commanded Moses.
There are certain times in life when we have to let other people do things for us. Sometimes we are content with that, and other times we're not. I'm sure that if someone offered to prepare and cook the Christmas dinner for you, as well as do the dishes and tidying up, you would be overjoyed. Or if someone came along and said they would happily do all the ironing for a year, we might think that that was a real gift and blessing. But there are other times when people have to do things for us because we can't. This normally has to happen because of illness or older age. These are the times when we lose our independence and are no longer able to do the things we used to do so naturally and energetically. It may be the loss of a car and driving licence, and so other people have to take us wherever we want to go, or the inability to wash the dishes the way that we would like them done as we sit back and watch someone else doing them. The reality of life is that there will be times when people have to do things for us, whether we like it or not. Our Bible passage today is a story from the life of God's people. It is also the foundation of the principles for how they were to worship God. One day a year was going to be different from all the others. This was going to be a day of no work, and the people were to afflict themselves, as our passage says, which simply means they were to be humble in their souls. This day, called the Day of Atonement, was when the people couldn't do what they might want to do, and someone had to do it for them. That someone dealt with their sin. It was dealt with by the people God had appointed to shepherd the children of Israel, the priests. They were to make themselves pure and offer a sacrifice of atonement for the priesthood before they could offer one for the people. The priests had to do before God what the people couldn't do for themselves. Just like the people in Leviticus chapter 16, we can't deal with our own sin. Someone else has to deal with it, and that someone can only be Jesus Christ. The one whom we celebrate coming at Christmas is the only one who can deal with our sin. He received the punishment of death so we wouldn't have to. He invites us to know him and know forgiveness of sins through him. And this is truly the good news of great joy at Christmas. Will Christ's atoning work on the cross be your joy this year? Thank you for listening to this Joy to the World podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts from so that you can receive this directly every day. And also, if you're listening on YouTube, do subscribe and click that bell icon so that you too can be notified when each episode is available.